we have the new Hobbywing Program Box Pro, which allows us to connect this to the RC. So we're going to be connecting it to the Max 8 G2. It just goes in the normal way into where your fan mount is, like any normal program card. But then the good thing about this is you can Bluetooth this to the app, and I'll show you that as well. Then we're going to see if there's any updates for this Max 8 G2 or if there's any way we can fix it. I'm just going to quickly show you what it's doing before we actually mess around with it, and then we'll show you afterwards, and hopefully we can get this running a little bit better. I'm just going to show you what it's actually doing. I don't think it's cogging. Just for a bit of history, obviously you can watch the last video I did on this, but in this car with exactly the same gearing, I had the original Team Crowley ESC, which is like literally the old Max 8. Then I had the 8BL 150 G2 ESC in here, and never had this issue at all. In the same gearing, it's got a 15 tooth pinion, and all the rest of the gearing is stock. The initial acceleration, it just struggles to get going. See, they did it again there. The wheels were not turning. If you proper blast it, it's okay, but just on slow ignition, yeah, it's like it's cogging, but it shouldn't be cogging. It's not overgeared. Right, let's have a look at this program card and see if there is a firmware update for it. So I've got this all plugged in. I'll just show you how this works without using the Bluetooth module on your phone. So switch it on. So to go through your settings, it's quite nice and easy. You just roll down. So you've got data record, system settings, mode settings. Go to data record. You can actually see how it's been running. And we've got to perimeter settings. And then you can see what I've got it set as. So this is what I've been running at. It's pretty stock really. So we'll go back out of this, back again. So what you need to do is go to the Hobbywing Link V2 is what you're going to need. You bring that up, and then you just go to there, available devices. It's found the Hobbywing 325. You click on there. Module connection, and it's connected straight away. It's found it. Then we can go to firmware update, and it looks for any firmware available. So you've got available versions. Got B307 and B304. It's already on B307. So it's got the most up-to-date version, and then it's also got a lower version which is B304, which I don't really want to do. Or should I? Right, there. Let's try this first. So there is no up-to-date firmware version at the moment. So I'm going to go back to B304, update that. Okay. So we are actually going backwards, but I just want to see what this does going to the original firmware. Doesn't take 2 minutes at all. Well, it takes about 30 seconds to update it. So that's updated automatically. So let's try this on the car now. So we've disconnected the program box. Let's switch it back on and see what happens. And let's see if it's doing the same. Oh now, isn't that interesting? Well, now that has confused me a little bit, because we've actually we've actually gone back a firmware revision. So maybe that new firmware revision is what the issue is. Now what I'm going to do is, just to kind of show that is right, I'm going to upgrade it back to the new firmware revision and just see if it's still doing it. But that is a lot better. A lot better. Yeah, that's definitely not doing it. I'm just going to go back to that newer one and let's just see what that makes a difference. I'll do that. Connect again, variable devices, Hobbywing, module connecting, firmware update. Right, so this is back up to the newer firmware. What it does. Wow, wow. Exactly the same. Right, that's confirmed it for me then. So then it's a problem with the new firmware version, which is coming by looks of it, because that was the firmware version that was with this, but it's an older one which seems to work better. So let's just try that again, just to be on the safe side. Right, so we're back to the new but old firmware version, and let's just double check. Okay, let's see. Yeah, straight away. Wow, okay. Well, that is very strange. So if you've got one of these Max 8 G2s, you're running it sensorless motor, either a Current, or a lot of people are using rocket motors. If you're having that issue, it's definitely worth you seeing if you can actually put the firmware back until they bring out a newer firmware, because that has solved the issue. No doubt. No doubt at all. That is just so much more responsive. That is strange. Very strange. I think the next thing to do is we'll get this out, we'll give it a bash, and we'll just see if it has made a difference or not.
Whoa! Yeah.
As you saw from that running footage, it's running a lot better. Got it all nice and cleaned up now. It was absolutely filthy. And I think I've got a bearing needs replacing on this wheel. It's a little bit, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that's definitely a bearing going. But everything else run perfectly. It's just a lot more responsive on the trigger, running a lot better. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but if anybody else has tried this, or if somebody else is going to try it and it works for them, please let me know, because that seems to have fixed the problem. This new Program Box Pro, absolutely perfect, works really well, nice and easy to link up to your phone. Really impressed with this. I mean, it's not the cheapest of things, but it's good. You can test your batteries with it as well. So you can just put your LiPos in there and it tells you all the cells up. You don't have to plug it into anything. So yeah, fingers crossed we fixed the issue with this. So it wasn't overgeared. It's something to do with that new firmware, and going back to the original firmware seems to have fixed it. And I didn't seem to have any other issues with the old firmware either. So I don't really know what they've done on that firmware, but whatever it was has caused that issue. Thank you for watching. I hope you found that useful. Remember to subscribe, remember to comment, and remember to like. And if you've got any questions, don't hesitate. I'll always get back to you. Thank you very much. Happy RCing.